We spend 5 minutes with Jesus. Our text today is taken from St. Paul's letter to Philemon. The first chapter, verses 15 and 16. It reads, that you might have him back forever, no longer as a slave, but as a brother. Despite being one of the shortest books in the Bible, just one chapter, St. Paul's letter to Philemon still reveals the power of the gospel to change us. It had changed Paul so much that he viewed a runaway criminal slave by the name of Onesimus as his own spiritual son. And it had changed the slave so much that he viewed himself as a beloved, forgiven man. Now, Paul is inviting Onesimus's owner, Philemon, to let the gospel change him. While he was in prison, Paul evangelized Onesimus, who had run away from his owner and had come seeking Paul's help. As they grew close, Paul came to view Onesimus as his spiritual child. But he didn't stop there. In this text, Paul pleads with Onesimus' owner, Philemon, to take him back. Paul's letter is clever. It is inviting, but also direct. He says he could command Philemon based on his authority as an apostle, but he chooses a different tone. He says, I rather urge you out of love. He begs Philemon to see the spiritual reality of the situation, not just the legal reality. Perhaps this is why he was away from you for a while, that you might have him back forever, no longer as a slave, but more than a slave, as a brother, writes St. Paul to Philemon. This letter shows that the gospel is not just good news that announces our salvation. It is good news that changes us. Just as it did for Onesimus and Paul, and hopefully for Philemon, the gospel lifts our hearts. It reconciles broken relationships and changes the way we treat one another. We are in this Jubilee year. Let us invite the Holy Spirit to show us how we can be transformed by the power of the gospel. Perhaps there is someone who will help you see things differently, a boss, a family member. Maybe you might just see things differently yourself. So turn to the Holy Spirit. Thank you, Holy Spirit, for setting us free to see ourselves and others as you do. Jesus, I trust in you. We spend a moment in prayer.